Have you ever had that feeling that you're kind of playing a part? There's the you that everyone gets to see, and then there's the real you, the one that only shows up when you're completely alone. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive right into that very idea, the two selves that exist inside every single one of us.
And to really get our heads around this, we're going to use a pretty powerful metaphor: Handsome and the Beast. Now hold on, this isn't some fairy tale. It's all about that polished, handsome exterior we show the world, and then the raw, unfiltered beast of a self that comes out when no one's watching.
So let's get right into it. We're unpacking these two faces, the public persona squaring us against the private self. And to start, we really need to define what each one is all about.
Okay, so on one side of the coin, we have the public self. Let's call that handsome. This is that carefully crafted version of us we create for work, for friends, even for our social media. It's how we get by in the social world. And on the flip side, you've got the private self, our beast. This is our authentic side, the one that doesn't feel the need to perform for anybody.
So let's kick things off with that public persona, the handsome. You can almost think of it as the role we're all playing in the grand performance of everyday life. It's actually a pretty crucial part of social survival. But what exactly is that performance made of?
Let's really think about that for a second. What truly defines this public-facing self? What are the building blocks of this persona we spend so much time and energy constructing for the world?
Well, our public self has a few key traits. First, it's all about curated behavior, right? We're carefully picking our words and our actions. It's also designed to be socially acceptable, because let's face it, we're all wired to want connection and avoid making waves. It is absolutely performance-oriented. And here's a big one. It's subject to perception. It almost exclusively exists in the minds of other people. So in a lot of ways, it becomes this idealized version of ourselves.
All right, now for the other side of the story, let's shift gears and talk about what happens behind closed doors. Let's talk about the private self we've been calling the beast.
This is such a critical question. I mean, the word beast sounds pretty negative, doesn't it? But is it really? Or is it something else entirely? Who is this person that shows up when the audience finally goes home?
And this right here is the absolute key. The beast isn't a monster, it's simply you, the uncurated you. It's the self that doesn't have to constantly worry about being judged or what someone else might think. It's the freedom to be completely, 100% authentic. So it's not about being bad, it's just about being real.
But this whole dynamic doesn't just happen in a vacuum. The moment you bring society into the mix, things get way more complicated. Suddenly, you have stereotypes and biases clouding how people see our two selves, and that can create this huge gap between who we are and who they think we are.
Just look at how this usually plays out. Our public handsome is often seen as calculated, polished, maybe even a little bit fake. And in contrast, our private beast, that spontaneous, authentic self, gets labeled as the real you. But is it really that simple? Is one just a role we play, and the other is our true identity? Or is there maybe a little more to the story?
And that question brings us to what I think is the most important part of this whole conversation. It's not about choosing a side, team handsome or team beast. It's about moving beyond that simple split and trying to get a real understanding of the whole person.
So the crucial takeaway is this: a true in-depth understanding means you get that both handsome and the beast are valid. They're just two parts of one single complex person. One isn't fake and the other real. There's simply different ways we express ourselves, and each one has its own purpose.
At the end of the day, this says it all, doesn't it? We all wear masks. It's just a social necessity. The real goal isn't to judge the mask, but to try and understand the incredibly complex person who's wearing it. The person who actually needs both their public and private self to get through the world.
So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. That public persona you put on every single day, is it a lie you're telling the world? Or could it just be a different kind of truth about who you are?